Hi everyone, as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about Connie, aka my concentration that was mentioned in the senior show video I posted. And so getting started, as you can see from here, these are sketches because originally, if I'm to be honest with you, Connie was just a doodle I did in class because I was boarding class, and it pretty much went from a doodle to all of a sudden this big story I wanted to do. I started to get more ideas on what other characters I wanted to do, and I guess what motivated me to do this and make it more than just a doodle to now becoming a story was just the idea of clashing two contrasting things, which is fantasy, my characters that I morphed into so fictional like, as well as sometimes even the environment she would be in that are made up, not really real, so to speak, with the characters in her mind, and combining that with reality. And the reality aspect is these issues she faces, and like mental problems, family issues, so many other issues that are very, very real. And actually, I have experienced some of these stories have actual like experiences that have been recorded inside memoirs that I have written. The only difference between the memoirs and this is that some of these memoirs are in there, some of them are not, because it's just too personal. And some of these situations are still real, but just haven't really happened to me. But they're still real, and I still wanted to mention them because I feel like it's important for other people to kind of learn about how sometimes people are in these difficult situations, or just also just learn how difficult these situations are. And moving forward, so Connie is essentially this semi-autobiographical series I've been working on, a comic series so far. I want it to one day become a animated series that would be on a TV show, like a network such as Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney, or even some others that I can't really think of on the top of my head, maybe Adult Swim. But if not, then at least in an online animated series, because I feel like this would be such a strong it would be such a strong series to finally bring to life, because once again it brings up such tough issues and it talks about them while still being able to entertain an audience. For example, as I'm showing in this video, this story, Connie's Day Out, this story was supposed to be just very laid back, relaxed, and showing how Connie's daily life is when she's not in school, when she's just in her alone time, just chilling by herself. But then it shows something so, I guess you could say, a very violent, aggressive wording. And the reaction I got actually at the show, which this was at the show, mind you, with adults, teenagers, children. Children didn't read this, luckily. The reaction from this violent word, so to speak, was laughter, and that was a good thing. That was what I was hoping that I would get, because the end of the story was, instead of her investigating what's going on, she does the opposite. She just goes to her room and plays video games with the cat. And that's what I like about the series. I like the fact that it brings up the fact that I'm able to bring up such tough topics to talk about while still be able to make people laugh and smile, and maybe even help people realize and have them be able to relate to such a character that maybe other people have these issues. Actually, it's possible for other people to experience these issues. It's possible for anyone, in fact, that this character has to deal with. Like so many other than mental health, and such as even the whole LGBTQ, some issues that would also be in there sometimes, like the whole coming out of the closet. And of course, I just like how versatile it is, the fact that it has like drag queens and so many other different types of characters. And another aspect, once again, I like about the series is combining fantasy with reality, and there's other examples other than like the fact that it's putting some personal history I have in there, but making it more fictional and changing it slightly so it fits the character more to her rather than making it about me. Like, I like the fact that it pretty, like, there's moments where Connie is not by her, it could be by herself, but sometimes when Connie spaces out or sometimes gets too scared or nervous about something, her eyes would turn green and suddenly her reality suddenly all of a sudden warped. It's all of a sudden changing into something, into her own imagination essentially. It's like as if I'm pretty much showing the, I guess you could say the mental perspective of Connie, where it shows how her reality just warps. It doesn't even, her eyes doesn't even have to be green sometimes. Sometimes she's warping the reality and she doesn't even know it because her imagination, so to speak, has quote unquote gone wild. And yeah, that's what I just enjoyed about it. The whole idea of how someone's imagination, how this character's imagination could just warp reality sometimes when she's just so stressed out and she just wants to just be happy. And well, for her, it's just letting her imagination go and let it try to find some sort of fantasy it can make for her to make her feel comfortable and no longer like so fearful of the world. And yeah, that's just another aspect I like about this character. And again, the whole mental health this character has, if you didn't know, she's gender fluid, so that's why that explains Connor and Konya. Connor represents the masculine personality and Konya the feminine personality. That's sort of my way of trying to explain people who aren't gender fluid for me personally how it feels sometimes. Such as, like, as you can see in this picture, the reflection of Konya means that Connie's just feels feminine. She just feels very feminine. And again, the like reflections of showing them is how I like to explain it for some people, for Connie, so to speak. And for, you know, not for everyone it's like that, but for me that's just how I feel. Anyway, so she's gender fluid. She's has Asperger's. This character has Asperger's, and I already dropped in subtle hints of that, such as these rooms that you're seeing are actually in Connie's head, and they're representation of how one room represents Connor's personality, so to speak, and how he likes to be, so to speak, cooped up, not cooped up, sorry, that's wrong wording. I mean, just likes to be in a room, study, research, and take notes, and even see what works, what doesn't. He's just like a very nerdy guy, and he's almost like a scientist, so to speak. He's very scientific. Konya is more carefree. She likes living very childlike. She's just sort of that free-spirited kind of person. So, yeah, those are actually in Connie's head, and if you haven't noticed, there are puzzle pieces in both of those rooms, so that's my way of dropping subtle hints of Asperger's, since the symbol for that is the puzzle pieces, as I have learned throughout researching. And yeah, so that's pretty much how I could put Connie in a nutshell, because there's so much more about it. But yeah, that's Connie in a nutshell, so to speak. So if you want to show support for this series, I guess give me advice on how to help make this series grow. Because so far I have three stories. And if you want to check out the comic book I did for my concentration, so to speak, it's on my website, and so are the other two stories. It's on my website. I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want, like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much, and have a good day.